Hello, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good evening so far. Um, Today is Chaos Head Noah Day. Flipping back and forth between this uh, and God of War Ragnarok each day. God of War was yesterday, so we're doing this today. So let's see. Yeah, we're in chapter 8 now. So what happened last time on Chaos Head Noah? So, Bon decided to meet with Yua. I think she had actually talked to the police before, but they did, I guess, sort of an off-the-record type meeting, and Yua kind of talked about the investigating that she had done into the NewGen killings, and Bon basically told her that they didn't even consider Takumi to be a suspect, even though Yua's conclusion was that Takumi was the killer, and the Bon said that they didn't even consider him a suspect. So also Sua, Bond's assistant, also interrogated ISA at the hospital for a little bit, and he told ISA the same thing, that that Takumi was not being considered a suspect. I think that's what he told her anyway. Anyway, ISA was not very cooperative. She didn't talk very much with Sua. Sua spent most of the time trying to, I guess, like, get on friendly terms with ISA to try and open her up, I guess, but it wasn't very successful. Hold on a second. My webcam is acting weird, so let me turn that. Okay. There, that should stop it. And let's see what else happened. Is that it? I mean, that was pretty much it. Most of the stuff that happened last time I streamed this was focused on the investigation. So wasn't a whole lot that happened with Takumi. So yeah. I think that's it. I'm not remembering anything else that happened right now. So, I think we ended right after the scene where Bon was talking with Yua. So. When I went to school on Thursday, I got an unexpected offer from Misumi to go visit Ayase in the hospital. I hadn't thought of that at all, and it had caught me off guard. Oh, yeah, there was also, I just remembered now, there was also a deal where Takumi did see a like a bandage wrapped around his sister's wrist, which just made him even less willing to talk with her, because now he's convinced that something happened to her, and she's probably at least partially blaming Takumi for it. And in fact, this revelation even made it so Takumi is now not even really wanting to talk with Rimi, even though they are still hanging out and stuff, but he just doesn't really talk to her much while they're hanging out, so yeah. But for some reason, before I could answer, Rimi had said she wanted to go. I ended up going along with them. Just to be clear, it's not that I was some cold person who didn't care about her. But with the threat of Shogun looming, I didn't have it in me to worry about other people. I don't want to die. Misumi had gone in through the front door, but when he got to the lobby, he didn't seem sure what to do.
どうしたの?
いや、岸本の病室ってどこなんだろうなって思ってよ。
Had he come all this way without actually bothering to check? If so, what an idiot.
ここは外来棟だよ。病棟は隣。
そうなのか。
大臣、しっかりしてよ。
AH Tokyo General Hospital. This was the hospital I'd come to ever since I was little. I'd just been here a while ago, in fact, so I had a pretty good idea of the basic layout. Suddenly, I remembered what had happened to Dr. Takashina and let out a small moan that the others didn't hear. As Misumi headed for the inpatient rooms, I looked behind me.
で、病棟の何号室だと思う？
そんなのわかんないよ。
This was a general hospital with any number of departments in it. I would guess...
多分外科じゃないかな。でももしかすると精神科かも。
When she'd fallen, she hadn't looked like she was that badly injured. And if she was in bad enough shape mentally to try and jump off a building, it was entirely possible they'd put her there. It had happened to me after the incident at O Front for some reason.
タクって物知りだな。
常識でしょ、常識。ね、タク。
Maybe not everybody. I wouldn't have known unless I'd been here so many times. Rimi stopped just before we got to the inpatient area.
私、お手洗い行ってくる。先に行ってて。
She waved and headed back toward the outpatient wing. That is suspicious. Misumi and I figured that we'd bother the other patients if we wandered around, so we decided to ask about Ayase at the nurse's station. Just like I thought, they gave us the number of a room in the psych ward. We'll go ahead and save it here. The room was small and simple in layout. There was a bathroom on the right side from the entrance and a bed near the back. The evening sun was pouring in through the window on the far wall. There was no sign of Ayase herself. The bed was unmade, so she must have been here a little bit ago.
どこ行ったんだ？
さあ、
The window was open. The wind was blowing into the room, making the white curtains billow. That could, yeah, I don't know how, I mean, I'm not sure, but I think that like mental wards typically don't allow you to open the window, so the fact that the window is open is a big red flag here, unless I'm just mistaken. It had been bothering me ever since I came into the room. I felt awful, negative delusions coming on, like she might have jumped out the window. Like if I looked down, I'd see her below, covered in blood, brains splattered on the pavement. I had to see. I walked toward the window with shaking legs, like a man possessed. I stood at the window. The sky was the color of evening. The air was crisp with the scent of fall. What would I see if I looked below? Something terrible? I gulped and very, very slowly leaned out my head and looked below. There was nothing there at all. I couldn't see Ayase's body on the ground below. I must have been overthinking things. Relieved, I went to pull my head back inside. Suddenly, I noticed something. The window on the floor below ours, there was a towel there, flapping in the wind. I thought it was just a white towel, but I could see what looked like blue letters on it. The way it was flapping made it hard to read. And I really didn't care about it anyway. Why should I care about the lettering on a towel? But for some reason, I found myself trying desperately to read it. And then I looked closely and saw that the letters said, I couldn't speak. I couldn't look away. And then an unseen hand pulled the towel inside. I bet that's Shogun in there. As if they'd known I'd seen it just now. No, that was impossible. There was no way that somebody I knew could be occupying the hospital room exactly below this one. And even if somebody who wasn't a patient was waiting there for me, they'd have no way of knowing if I'd look out the window or not. There weren't any security cameras in the room. It was just a coincidence. It had to be. But what if it wasn't? Terrified, I looked back toward the door. Nobody was there. The door was closed. I backed away from the window, feeling scared and creeped out. Don't think about it. Force yourself not to think about it. It's a coincidence. It's just a coincidence. I kept repeating that to myself over and over.
見ろよタク、変な本があるぞ。
I looked up in shock when Misumi said my name. He'd taken a book off the shelf and was reading it.
ヌーだぜ、ヌー。この雑誌、まだ続いてたんだな。
New was a magazine that dealt with UFOs, aliens, psychic powers, religions, urban legends, strange phenomena, ancient super civilizations, and lost technology. Anything even tangentially related to the occult. It didn't surprise me in the least that a girl who constantly talked about crazy stuff like ISA was reading it.
こっちの文庫本は、何々グラジオール記黙示録詩編ファンタジー小説っぽいな。
I'd never heard of the book, but I had heard the word gladiole somewhere before. Where was it again? It felt like it had been really recently.
岸本と付き合うとなると、この趣味に合わせないといけねえのか。大変そうだぜ、これは。
Was he still planning on dating Ayase somehow? Last time she'd shot him down hard. Suddenly, I realized Ayase's D-sword was leaning up against the wall. Its shape reminded me of a space battleship you might see in a sci-fi movie. Every time I saw it, I was struck by how cool it looked, and the way it combined beauty and cruelty. It wasn't glowing right now, it was just sitting there. But still, you could feel its heavy presence. Misubi showed no indication that he saw the sword. I guess normal people really couldn't see them. Maybe if I just took it without telling Ayase, it would be mine then, right? If I could get a D-sword that easily, then all my problems would be solved, right? I gulped and reached out for the weapon with a trembling hand. I went to grab the blade. I thought I'd grabbed it, but my hand passed right through it. I'd grabbed only thin air. I tried again, but the same thing happened. I couldn't take it. I couldn't even touch it. Was the sword not real booted right now? And since there was no shared awareness of his existence, it was just a delusion of Ayase's? An illusion, a dream, an after-image.
何やってんだお前。
Misumi was looking at me, confused. We waited another 10 minutes, but there was no sign of Ayase. Rimi, who'd supposedly just gone to the bathroom, was nowhere to be seen either. Where had she gone? Wait a second. I know what she's fucking doing. She's visiting Shogun. I knew her saying she was going to the bathroom was fucking suspicious. Yeah, that's got to be what she's doing. She's visiting Shogun.
リミって、この病室の場所知ってたか？
We'd asked about the room at the nurse's station after splitting up with Rimi. She might be wandering around looking for us.
あいつバカだからな。俺たちみたいに誰かに聞こうって発想がないのかもしんねえぞ。
探しに。
I was nervous without her around. There was no way to know for sure if this hospital was safe. If Shogun was reading my mind, He'd know exactly where I was.
そうだな。待つのも飽きたし、タクもあいつがいないと寂しいだろうからな。なあ、ぶっちゃけ、リミとはどうなんだ？
え？
付き合ってんのかって聞いてんだよ。お前ら、最近結構いい感じじゃね？
付き合ってないよ。
As I spoke, my face flushed. Me and Remy dating. I'd had some delusions about the idea, sure. I wasn't into 3D girls, but Remy was a pretty big part of my life now. But when Remy had offered to stay by my side, she'd also said this.
そんなの友達だからに決まってるでしょ。
In other words, she saw me as a friend. She'd have no interest in dating a creepy otaku like me, obviously. And Remy didn't seem like the type who'd want to date anyway. Misumi and I decided to split up and look for her. Misumi checked the floor below, so I went to check the one above us.
Amisha! Roja! Amisha!
The hell? I passed by an elderly man in his 50s. He was clearly a patient here. He was slowly staggering down the hallway, calling out for Ami, whoever that was. I ignored him and kept walking. Walking around the hospital didn't really bother me as much as I'd thought it would. It was probably because I'd been here so many times. Still, the thought that Shogun might appear from behind every corner or open door made my heart race. There were those strange screams I sometimes heard too. They were bad for my heart. The walls and floor of the hallway were all the same off-white color. Some doors were open and some weren't. I peeked inside a few of them to see if Shogun was lurking there. Each room had 2 beds, and I could see human-shaped forms beneath the sheets. Those must have been patients sleeping. But for some reason, all of them were turned away from me, and I couldn't see their faces. There weren't many people out in the hallway. There had been the old man calling for Ami, and then a nurse. They'd been the only 2 I'd seen. I didn't want to stay here for too much longer. I wasn't sure why, but that's how it felt. The air felt heavy. It wasn't unpleasant, but it felt like I didn't belong here. As I kept going forward, I saw that the hallway turned to the right. There must be some more rooms down there, I thought, as I nervously rounded the corner. I saw a wall right in front of me. Unlike the off-white of the other walls, this one was painted pure black. For some reason, my heart began to race faster and faster. I couldn't move. My vision began to swim. I thought I was just feeling dizzy and closed my eyes, but when I put my fingers on my eyelids, I could feel my eyes twitching beneath them. A cold feeling, like ice, worked its way up my body from below. I stood there completely still, forgetting to breathe. I stared at the black in front of me. It felt like it was pulling me, drawing me in. An endless black that continued on for eternity. There was nothing there, but somebody was watching me. I could feel the gaze of God stabbing into the back of my neck. It was far, far worse than it had ever been at the base. Don't look at me. I used every scrap of mental power I had to force my eyes closed. Only then could I breathe. Panting, I stepped back. I lowered my head, turned around, and ran. I headed back to the floor Ayase's room was on as fast as I could, stopping to catch my breath only after I'd headed down the stairs. Okay, so he went up, so that means whatever he saw can't be connected to the room that he saw that flag hanging out of, because that was below. So, alright. I touched my neck and found it was covered with a thick, sticky layer of sweat. It wasn't just my neck. My whole body was soaked. What the hell was that? Was it Shogun reading my mind? I could still sense the gaze of God. It was still hard to breathe. I was still cold. I felt exhausted. I wanted to go home. I wanted to have Rimi take me back to the base, and then I could stay there and never leave it again. Even if I did manage to find Ayase, she'd be annoyed, not happy, to see me. Misumi was only here because he was trying to get laid. I was an idiot to play along with it. I should just go home before Shogun and Yua show up. Those two could appear anywhere, at any time. They'd be able to find me easily. I couldn't relax anywhere. I headed back to Ayase's room. I was staggering, barely able to walk. I had to put my hand on the wall for support. Was Misumi back, I wondered? I slowly kept moving forward, praying that he'd managed to find Rimi.
山井さんがまたアミーちゃんっていう名前を呼んでたんですよ。
I could hear the voices of the nurses in front of me. I looked up to see two nurses walking towards me. One was young, the other was a plump older woman.
一体誰のことを探してるのか。
それこの病院に伝わる怪談よ。誰も知らない幻の病室があって、そこにアミーちゃんが入院してるらしいわ。もう何年も前からある噂。
I put my head down and waited for the two of them to pass. I held my breath so that they couldn't hear how much trouble I was having breathing. I could tell they were looking at me suspiciously, but all I could do was try to ignore them. When they were gone, I started to walk again. Somehow, I managed to make it to the nurse's station. ISA's room was in front of the nurse's station. I must have passed it. I groaned and wiped the sweat off my forehead. It still felt like somebody was watching me. I could feel a piercing sensation in my chest. My ears were ringing, too. I felt awful. It seemed like I might pass out at any moment. I'd been just fine when I got here. What had happened to me? I was in so much pain. I just couldn't take it. I decided to get help from one of the nurses at the nurse's station. But there was only one person there. Evidently, she hadn't noticed me. She had her back turned and was muttering something as she worked. There was a clipboard in her hand. She was writing something on the paper it held. Bro, what? I'd met her before. It was Hazuki, the nurse. That's right. This was the mental ward at AH Tokyo General Hospital. Of course she'd be here. I'd talked to her twice in just the last month. Perfect. If she saw me, she'd help me out immediately. Just then, I heard a beeping noise. It sounded important. Hazuki put down her clipboard and flipped a switch in front of her. The beeping noise stopped. Evidently, someone had hit the button to call a nurse. She quickly ran out of the nurse's station. She seemed not to notice me. I was suffering so much, just a few feet away from her. She didn't even see me. I couldn't stand. The vertigo was incredible. Helplessly, I went inside the nurse's station and decided to wait for her to come back. I found the stool she'd been sitting on and sat down on it. My head hurt so bad. It was like the earthquake a week ago. It's probably more that GE rate shit. There was probably like a really high GE rate emanating from that wall or whatever. But the pain was different somehow. Maybe. I wanted something to drink. I'd been out of breath for so long that even breathing hurt. I took a quick glance around me. I saw the clipboard Hazuki had been writing on. I could see what was drawn on it. Last time I'd seen her, she'd been smiling as she'd written something on it. I thought she was taking down my temperature, or the names of the drugs I should be given. So, what was this? I couldn't understand.
これって
Is that the crucified shit? I'd seen it somewhere before. I'd seen this terrible drawing somewhere before. Where? Where had I seen it? My head hurt so bad. The stabbing pain. The prickling at the back of my neck. Don't look at me. I picked up the clipboard. There were several papers there, all medical charts. I flipped through them. The second one had the same terrible picture. I flipped to the next. The third one was the same. The fourth, too, and the fifth, and the sixth. This is like the, what is it? All work and no play makes whatever really, what was it, makes Jack a really dull boy or something? From The Shining. That's what this shit is. They all had the same picture on them. This picture, it was crucified. So you're telling me the nurse is involved in this shit too now? Damn. Damn. That's rough. The shipping crate that Takumi Nishijo called home was perched silently on the roof of an old building in Shinsen. Sena Aoi was coming here now for the second time. The first had been a few days prior, when she'd run into Takumi and Kazue at Center Street. She'd secretly followed him home. That's how she found this place.
セナさん、やめた方がいいと思うのだ。泥棒さんはね、クドピ嫌いなの。みゅー。
それならどうしてついてきた？
Sena spoke coldly without even looking back at Kazue. Sena had come here to sneak into Takumi's room. Takumi Nishijo wasn't normal. After talking to him several times, that was the conclusion she'd reached. He was different from normal gigalomaniacs like Sena and Kazue. Either the strength of his delusions was incredibly intense, or he was receiving some kind of artificial support. Either way, his very existence seemed like it was unstable somehow. Something about him bothered Sena a lot. She was looking for a man named Hatano, and it was possible that Takumi Nishijo was connected to him somehow. She had no way of being sure, but if there was any chance, even a small one, she wouldn't rest until she'd ruled it out with her own eyes. As long as she kept doing that, she'd find her target eventually. That's what Sena believed. There was a padlock on the door. Sena gave a little snort and brought down her D-sword. She'd already real booted it. The padlock shattered easily.
たくみさんが帰ってきたら怒られちゃうよ。
Sena had already seen that Takumi had left school with two friends, heading in the direction of the station. And even if he did find out, she didn't care. Sena would do anything to achieve her goal, even if that meant making somebody mad or having them call the cops. She opened the door and went inside. Damn, poor Takumi keeps having people break into his place. Bro. The place was like a garbage dump. Sena couldn't help but wince and give a small moan.
汚いね。
なんで楽しそうなんだ小杖。
靴は脱いだ方がいいのかな。
Sena sighed and went inside the room without bothering to remove her shoes.
お人形さんいっぱいなのら。うぷー。たくみさんって変態さんだったんだ。すごいな。
Sena ignored Kazue, who seemed strangely impressed for some reason, and went over to the computer. She turned on Takumi's PC, and while she waited for it to boot up, she ran her eyes across the contents of the desk. Her eyes narrowed as she picked up an old sheet of essay paper.
あ、その目、誰の目だ。
Kazue had been looking over Sena's shoulder. She was jumping up and down with delight.
やっぱり、たくみちゃんがその目誰の目の人だったのら。コズピーはパンパカパーンだったぽーん。
Sena, however, seemed much less interested in the essay than Kazue. She flipped it over to see if anything was written on the other side. Suddenly, her eyes went wide with shock.
これは
What she saw there was...
うんぴー、人がいっぱいだね。これロボットさん？ IR2 だって。セナさん？
Sena was gritting her teeth so loud that you could physically hear it. Her expression was even angrier than usual, and her hands shook with rage as she held the essay.
そうか西条が IR2 を生み出した張本人か。
Bro, what the hell is IR2? Her voice was quiet. Sena crumpled up the essay into a ball and crushed it with her fist. I got up and left the nurse station, and now I was wandering around the hospital. My brain still felt like it was full of fog. I decided not to think about what I'd just seen. Somehow I ended up at the stairwell. Misumi was there, standing in front of the window.
どうしたタク？汗びっしょりじゃねえか。顔色も悪いし。あ、顔色悪いのはいつもか。もしかして走って探してたのか？そりゃバテもするぜ。無茶するね、お前って。
I wiped away the sweat and tried my best to pretend I was okay.
リミと岸本、見つけたぜ。
But I couldn't see the two of them anywhere. Then, for some reason, he pointed out the window.
あそこだ。
I took a moment to catch my breath before walking over to the window. From the window, I could see the outpatient building next to us. The outpatient and inpatient areas were separate buildings. There was a walkway that led between them, but the two were a distance apart. The inpatient building was a few stories taller, and from the stairwell, you could just look down on the outpatient building's roof. There was a garden there with a planter filled with red flowers. It was a space for patients to relax. Rimi and Ayase were standing in the middle of the garden, facing each other. Ayase was wearing her pajamas. They seemed to be discussing something. The two of them didn't know each other, right?
なんか妙にシリアスに見えねえか。
They seemed to be glaring at one another. Suddenly, Ayase took a step forward and slapped Rimi across the face. Even from here, I could see that she'd given it her full strength. Now Ayase was walking away from Rimi. If she was heading toward the connecting corridor, she might come back to her room.
今ビンタしたよな。
I nodded. Rimi was standing there alone. She wasn't moving.
あの二人ってトラブル抱えてんのか？
I hadn't heard anything like that at all. Misumi suggested we pretend we'd never seen it. I eagerly agreed. We decided to leave Rimi where she was and head to Ayase's room. I was feeling a lot better than I had a bit ago. The gaze of God was gone. That awful feeling had disappeared like it had never happened. Misumi let out a soft gasp. He was walking ahead of me. I looked up and saw Ayase heading toward us. She was looking down at her feet. She seemed sick and pale, and was having trouble walking. Her expression seemed dark, too. We ended up running into each other right in front of her hospital room.
よ、岸本さん。
Ayase looked up in surprise at his cheerful greeting. And when she saw me, she gave me a smile that somehow made it look like she was about to cry. Why was she smiling just now? Because she'd heard about the mess at O-Front and how much of a fool I'd made of myself? Or did she just like me? If it was the former, that was incredibly depressing.
俺たち君のお見舞いに来たんだよね。つうか岸本さん、パジャマ姿も可愛いじゃん。
He was already using his pickup artist skills. Talk about being fast on your feet.
入って。
Ayase, for her part, wasn't nearly as cold as she'd been to him before. She opened the door and invited us in. She didn't mention the fact that she'd just slapped Rimi on the roof at all. I wasn't sure whether she was just hiding it, or if she'd just totally gotten over it in this short time. As always, it was impossible to tell what Ayase was thinking.
やっぱ見舞いに来たのは正解だったぜ。今日は好感触だ。
Misumi gave me a little thumbs up, making sure Ayase couldn't see. He was panting a little as he went into the room. I followed him. I wanted to go home with Rimi, but I didn't have the courage to talk to her right now. I didn't know why it had happened, but if somebody had slapped her that hard, she must be feeling pretty bad. And I didn't have the words to make her feel better. Ayase sat down on the bed. Misumi sat down next to her, somehow managing to even make it look natural in the process. I was astonished at his boldness. Seeing him go on the offensive was making me feel a little odd. Ayase gave him a glance before fixing her gaze on me. As she stared at me, I didn't know what sort of look I should have on my face. In the end, I decided to look at my feet.
怪我どう？もうだいぶ良くなってるみたいだけど。なんか必要なものあるなら遠慮なく言ってよ。俺がすぐ買ってきてやるぜ。
He was staring at her hand. Evidently, he was looking for a chance to grab it. Should I not be here?
あ、小説とか読む？俺さ、グラジオール記黙示録詩編ってのが好きなんだけど、岸本さん知ってる？
This dude.
匠
Ayase ignored Misumi's question. Instead, she said my name.
君はグラジオールの7騎士の一人よ。
え
There she goes again. Even after her failed suicide attempt, evidently Ayase's personality hadn't changed.
やっぱり導きだったんだわ。君と私が出会ったのは。
She spoke softly, unemotionally. She began to share whatever crazy backstory she had in her head.
君の邪神はとても強大。だからこそ言うことなしなのよ。黒騎士としての素質は。君が今経験している苦しみはすべて神罰。大いなる意志による試練なの。それを乗り越えたときに理想度は召喚されるわ。君の手に必ず。そして現れるのよ。邪神の黒き大蛇。あらゆる崩壊を飲み込み、邪神王の身を砕くことのできる。同質にして異質なるものが。現実なの。グラジオールも理想度も。かまいたちがその証よ。実在しない現象は後世に言葉として残ることはないわ。
Hey, what is this? Kamai Tachi? I don't know what that is. Um, Kamai Tachi is some kind of spirit. Comes from the oral tradition of the Koshinetsu region. Alrighty.
知っている？語源を。かまえたち。それは理想度を意味しているの。信じて、匠。グラジオールを倒すのよ。一緒に。
Gladiale. Now I remembered. I'd seen it when I first looked up the D-Sword. From what I'd read, the legend of the D-Sword originally came from old texts and apocrypha about the legend of Gladiael. Supposedly, anyway. Misumi silently stood up and walked towards me. As he passed by me, he put his hand on my shoulder.
俺もうついていけねえや。あとは任せた。
Bruh. He let out an annoyed sigh and left the room. Don't leave me alone with her. Ayase seemed completely uninterested in Misumi's sudden departure, if she'd even noticed at all. It was as if he'd never been in the room to begin with. She was always like that, always above everything that was going on around her. It was like she saw something different than everyone else.
君が生み出したんでしょ。あの時の花壇。
Yeah, she knows.
それで悟ったの。君はすでに目覚めていると。
僕はギガロマニアックスじゃないよ。
ギガロ何？
She doesn't even know what that is. How can he deny he's a gigalomaniac when he sees D-swords? Like, that alone shows he's a gigalomaniac, so I don't know why he's trying to deny it.
ギガロマニアックスでしょ。青いセナから聞いた。
青いセナ。そう。彼女ね。一度だけ会ったことがあるわ。グラジオールの黒騎士よ。彼女。
Damn, Sena is a knight too? Shit. Okay, wait. So you're saying Sena and Takumi are 2 of the 7 knights. Black Knight of Gladiael, Gigalomaniac. Did the words mean the same thing?
とにかく僕は違うんだ。Dソードだって結局手に入れられなかった。
神罰を乗り越えて、そうすれば剣は召喚される。
神罰。
苦しみ、心的負荷の爆発、心の扉の向こう側、あるいは精神的拷問。言い方はいろいろ。
僕これまでにもたくさん苦しんできたよ。
Even now, I was suffering. The whole country was laughing at me. The police thought I was a killer, which they actually don't, as we found out last time. Shogun and Yua were threatening me. Yua is not threatening him. Shogun is, but not Yua. And then there was Nanami.
私は精神病院にいたわ。子供の頃の話。
うん。
I knew about that. I'd read about it online. But why was she talking to me about this?
そこには5年弱いた。私の心はとても弱くて、だから攻撃した。周囲にあるものすべてを、同時に自分のことも。
Ayase began to speak slowly, like a whisper. Sitting there in her pastel pajamas, fingers running along the creases in the sheets, there was no trace of the strength I'd seen at her concert. Was the Fess I'd seen then even real?
私はよく窓ガラスを割っていたの。問題児ね。
There was a small smile on her lips.
割れたガラスの破片、そこにいつもぼんやりと見えていた。
何が？
剣が。でも何年もそれが何なのかわからなかった。ようやくそれがディソードだと知ったのは施設に入って4年ほど経った頃。それまで私は好き放題やっていたけど、ある日、施設の職員が一斉に入れ替わって、私は何ヶ月もいろいろな拷問をされて。
Why, though?
心が壊れてしまう間際に、大いなる意志の声が聞こえて、やっと召喚できたのよ。
拷問って？
それが神罰だった。邪神を打ち破る力を手に入れるには純粋なる邪神が必要。
Did that mean she was telling me to suffer more? That if I didn't, I wouldn't get the sword? If so, then I'd rather just forget the whole thing. I didn't want to suffer. I'd already been through so much. Just leave me alone. I put my hands up to my head, suddenly feeling an urge to scream as loud as I could. But Ayase's voice wouldn't let me.
すべてはお告げよ。すでに渋谷に集っているはずなの。7人の黒騎士は。
Okay, wait, does this mean that Kazupi is one of the knights too?
あとは全員が覚醒するだけ。急がないと世界は滅びるわ。グラジオールの手によって。
Okay, well, I'm definitely inclined to think that everything ISA is telling him is the truth, at least in this story's world, obviously. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem to me like ISA is the type to, like, try to deceive Takumi or anything. Misumi and I both looked at each other and shrugged as we walked down to the first floor.
俺 もう岸本のことはどうでもよくなった。これまでの俺のポリシーはな、タク。可愛ければ何でも許してやるだった。けどそりゃ間違ってたよ。あんな強烈な電波、俺には受け止めらんねえよ。素直に梢ちゃんだけ狙うことにするぜ。
Oh God. Bro, Causeway isn't any less crazy than ISA is. I wasn't sure that was a good idea either. Misumi already had a girlfriend after all.
お前マジですごいな。岸本のあの脳みそお花畑の話、よく30分近くも聞いてられるよ。俺尊敬したぜ。俺は3分も持たなかった。この俺がだぞ。
Okay. I kept an eye on my surroundings as I walked, only occasionally responding to some comment Misumi made. When we got to the outpatient building lobby, I could see Rimi standing there, looking a little spaced out. Cold wind was rustling through her hair, and I could see she lacked her usual cheerful demeanor. She was looking up at the night sky as if some big problem was on her mind.
おーい、リミー。
When Misumi said her name, she turned to us with a sudden bright smile on her face and waved energetically at us.
やっと見つかった。
Seeing her smile made me feel relieved. I found myself running up to her. Of course, I couldn't hug her or anything like that, so running up to her was all I did.
タク、感動の再会だね。また会えて嬉しい。
どこほっつき歩いてたんだ？
病室、どこかわからなくて、あちこちさまよっちゃった。ひどいよ。置いてくなんて。
She gave us a show of fake crying.
お前が先に行けって言ったんだろ。
そうだったね。で、岸本さんには会えた？
I nodded. Misumi was behind me, but I could tell he was grinning.
お前、岸本にビンタされてただろ。
Wait. I thought they had agreed to not talk about that. Okay.
さて、何のことでしょう？
Evidently, Rimi had wanted to keep the fact that Ayase had slapped her a secret. I hadn't intended to bring it up. Misumi, read the room. Oh, maybe they meant they weren't going to bring it up with Ayase. That could be.
隠そうったって無駄だぜ。俺は一部始終を見てたんだ。某家政婦のようにな。
なんだ、バレてたのか。
She gave us an awkward look and then stared up into my eyes.
もしかしてタクも見てたの？
そうだ、俺とタクで決定的瞬間をバッチリ見てた。
Don't tell her that.
なんだ、それじゃあ必死にごまかそうとしてたのがバカみたいじゃない。屋上に行ったらちょうど岸本さんがいたから、つい気になってたことを質問しちゃったの。そしたら機嫌損ねたみたい。
A question?
なんだよ、気になってたことって。
I don't think he's gonna tell them. I mean, I don't think she's going to tell them. Or at least she's gonna lie about it.
剣を見せてって。
Did that mean Remy could see the D swords too? I thought so for a moment, but I was wrong.
ほら、タクが前に剣のこと話してたでしょ。だから私も見たいなーって。
それで引っ叩かれたのか？意味わからん。岸本って剣の話ばっかしてるのにな。さっきも病室に入った途端、グラディエーターがどうとか言い出して、マジビビったぜ。
The three of us walked side by side through the outpatient lobby. This part of the hospital had evidently closed for the day because there were only a few people there. There were, however, around 10 people gathering around the big LCD TV in the corner.
何かな？
また、新しいニュージェネでも起きたんじゃね？
Misumi whispered. I froze. But Remy... She quietly gripped my hand. The warm feeling kept me from being any more scared. I could feel the tension in my heart melt away. Remy was my support. Remy gave me safety. Remy would stay with me. Maybe I was being a little too optimistic, but having her by my side kept the terror just barely manageable. I was so glad she was here.
なあ、二人とも来てみろよ。
Misumi had gone over to the TV and was beckoning to the two of us. The others, patients young and old, and even the nurses, were all glued to the screen. What was going on?
行ってみよう。
Remy pulled me by the hand until we were close enough to see the TV. Nervously, I looked at it, and when I saw what the text on the screen said, I was stunned. What, they found the NewGen killer? They arrested somebody? Bro, I was right. What the fuck? That was just a total, like, shot in the dark guess. It was news about the arrest of the NewGen killer. Wait, so who is it? Wait, it's not Sena, is it? They didn't just arrest Sena, right? Bro.
繰り返しお伝えします。
Oh, can't see who it is. Oh, but there's Sua. Is that Bond? It doesn't look like Bond. Anyway.
今日午後3時半ごろ、警視庁渋谷署はいわゆるニュージェネレーションの凶器と呼ばれる渋谷で発生した一連の殺人事件のうち、9月29日に起きた通称貼り付け殺人事件の容疑者を逮捕しました。
Okay. They're declaring that this is only the murderer of the crucified person. So, okay. Interesting.
殺人容疑で逮捕されたのは無職狛枝慎吾容疑者25歳です。
Wait, so you mean it's just some random person? It's not even... It's not even like one of the characters in the...
容疑については先ほど渋谷署で行われた記者会見の通り、今のところ太田久さん殺害についてのみで、他の事件に関する容疑は今後追及していく構えです。狛枝容疑者は太田さん殺害については容疑を認めており、
Credit roll. Bro.
交際している女性が太田さんにしつこくつけ回され、カッとなって首を絞めた。しかしゾンビだったため死なず、貼り付けにして動きを止めた。
Okay, that's weird. A human being who's come back to life's a corpse. Yeah. Whatever.
などと意味不明の供述をしています。警察の調べでは狛枝容疑者には現在交際している女性がいないことが明らかになっており、薬物を摂取していた疑いもあるとみて捜査を進めています。
Great. So he killed this dude to get revenge for him stalking a girlfriend he doesn't even fucking have. Multiple? Because they were... That's what Bond said. While he was talking to Yua. Plus, like, I had been thinking there was a possibility that there's multiple people even before that scene. Also, the fact that they're saying this guy is only a suspect in the crucified killing kind of still leaves that possibility completely open, so... I couldn't believe it. The TV was showing recorded footage of the suspect being taken away by a car. There were media everywhere. The light from their camera bulbs making the screen flash. There was a jacket over the man's head. I couldn't see what he looked like at all.
タク、
Rimi's hand gripped mine tighter. She whispered to me as she looked at the screen.
やっぱりタクは犯人なんかじゃなかったし。
Well, okay. Here's the deal. Now that they've arrested somebody, if the murders continue on, then that means one of two things. Either there are multiple people behind the NewGen killings, or they arrested the wrong person.
将軍っていう人も単なるいたずらだったんだよ。
Yeah, I don't know. Rimi is obviously trying to manipulate Takumi. I mean, that much is obvious at this point after the scene where she was talking with Shogun in the hospital. I mean, obviously she wants to manipulate Takumi into thinking that Shogun is like that he should just ignore Shogun. I can't really figure out why though. Why is she trying to like downplay Shogun?
楠木さんだって間違った推理をしてただけ。ね、これで何もかも解決。
I mean, if she's trying to get Takumi to take down his guard, I mean, she's not succeeding, really.
もう見えない影なんかに怯えることないんだよ。
That's right. If they'd arrested somebody else for the crucified murder, then that meant I couldn't have been the one to do it. I wasn't a sleepwalker, and I didn't have multiple personalities. This proved I was completely normal. And at the same time, it proved that I hadn't seen Rimi covered in blood there either. It hadn't been real. It had just been a delusion of mine. Okay. So that's why he's never bothered to ask Rimi about that shit. Because somehow he has convinced himself that seeing Rimi at the murder scene was just fake. Okay, whatever, man. It was over. The nightmare I'd been dealing with for the past month was over. I didn't need to be jumping at shadows anymore. I didn't need to be scared of the gaze of God. I didn't need to be frantically looking for the D-sword. I didn't need to do any of that. So why? Why did something feel so wrong? The idea that Shogun had just been stalking me as some kind of prank didn't seem credible. Maybe I only thought that way because my sense of what was normal had been numbed for the past month. My phone vibrated in my pocket. I'd set it on vibrate like I was supposed to, but I still couldn't take a phone call in a hospital. I let go of Rimi's hand and headed out the front door. I answered the phone.
はい。誰？
I tensed up. Maybe it was the Toriance song again. Bro, like has he not convinced himself that he shouldn't be taking those calls anymore? Like, bro, why is he still haphazardly answering fucking calls like this? I checked the name on the phone, but it was unlisted. I got a bad feeling and went to hang up, but the voice on the other end was in terrible pain, but it was, without doubt, Nanami's voice.
ナミ。
ナナの右手を返して。
He just saw her the other day with both her hands. Okay. I don't know. I have a feeling these calls that he's getting are just delusions. The Garo Froggy specialty shop was called Totally Froggy. Someone at some point must have thought it was a funny pun, but all it could elicit from Bon was a tired sigh. There were 20 Totally Froggy stores all across the city, and they were supposedly building more. The one in Harajuku was the first one that had been built, and so it was a mecca for Garo Froggy fans. That was the one Bon had decided to visit, and he was quickly regretting it.
なあ、ゆあちゃん。帰っていいか?
Oh, Yua roped him into this shit? Okay. He whispered to Yua, who'd accompanied him to the store and shown him where it was.
でも百瀬さんからゲロカエルンを買ってくるように頼まれてるんじゃ。
Why?
だってよ、おじさんだけ明らかに浮いてるからさ。
It was right on Takashita Street, and there were countless young people walking outside, having fun and talking to each other. Most of them were completely ignoring the shop. The inside was small and mostly devoid of people. There were only about 5 people there, including Bon and Yua, and all of them but Bon were teenage girls. A guy that looked like Bon walking down Takashita Street with a teenage girl like Yua probably seemed like he was buying sex. And now here he was, buying her the mascot character that all the kids loved. What a perfectly stereotypical old pervert he was. Bon felt depressed. And?
なんか誰かに見られてるような気がするんだよな。いい年して自意識過剰かもしんねえが。
あ、それ私もです。最近誰かの視線を感じて、たまにすごく怖くなるんですよ。
なんで俺だけじゃなかったか。ゆあちゃんの場合は心配だな。ストーカーに付け狙われてたりしたら。
そんな怖いこと言わないでください。
安心しな。そんな奴がいたら俺が逮捕してやるから。
Bon grinned, then turned to look at the Garo Froggy items on the shelf.
ところで、ゆあちゃんはここに来るのは何度目だい？
私も初めてです。
あんまり客がいねえようだが。静かなブームってやつなのか？
金曜日から日曜日にかけてはすごく混んでるらしいです。あ、つまり新作が発売されて週末の間だけですね。
Alright, so I guess what we're getting at here is that Garo Froggy is somehow related to the GE rate.
特に金曜日はものすごく並ぶらしくて、学生のために18時に販売開始なんですけど、噂だとその行列だけで竹下通りが埋め尽くされるとか。
週末だけね。ますます怪しいな。
Hello, Zane. Well, you missed about an hour and a half of this, so... Basically, right now, Bon is investigating this GE rate mystery, and he thinks that the Garo Froggy stuff is like somehow related to it. So he is currently visiting a Garo Froggy shop with Yua here. Bond decided to grab 2 of last week's frog, teary-eyed Garo Froggy, and take them to the register. Yua seemed to have decided not to buy any for herself. She simply followed behind him.
Shase?
The clerk was a rather dim-looking 20-something man with his hair dyed green. He even had pierced ears. If he wasn't at the register, it would have been hard to believe he worked in a store. By the way, I wanted to ask Zane and maybe FC too, I don't know. I noticed that like none of y'all are like watching my God of War streams, so I'm just wanting to know, are y'all just not interested in the God of War? Because if that's the case, I mean, I can just play it off stream, and I guess I can just stream Chaos Head every day for now. I mean, there is another game I could start, but I don't really want to start it right now. I'd rather wait until, I guess, after I finish God of War or whatever. I mean, I know my God of War streams also have been later than Chaos Ed streams, so that could be a factor too, but it's during when I have work on that day. Okay. So basically if I stream too late, then you're working at that time? Because yeah, I've been starting the God of War streams like here like 10 o'clock p.m. or even later than that. So I guess Zane over there, that would be like what, 4 in the morning? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. See, the problem is, like, I'm playing God of War on my PlayStation, obviously, which is out in the living room. And I would rather stream it after um, after my mother's already gone to bed, so that's why I've been waiting till later to do those streams. But heart. He certainly didn't seem like the customer service type. You're gonna cancel one of your shifts? Bro, don't don't move your work around just because of my streams. I mean, I mean, that's just, yeah, there's no reason to do that. The clerk was openly gawking at Yua and Bon.
娘さんへのプレゼントってやつっすか。
そうなんだよね。はあ、この子がどうしてもって言うから。まあ、たまには父親らしいことしてやらんとね。
Bon gave the clerk a friendly, awkward-looking grin. I mean, unless, like, your workplace is just, like, super flexible with, like, the times you go in. But Yua had a surprised look on her face and quickly turned her head down. But Bon ignored her and continued to play the role of dad. Wow, this is really awkward.
それより、このカエルに興味あるんだけど、ちょっと話聞かせてもらっていいかな。ゲコカエルンってそんなに人気あるの？
っていうかゲロカエルんすよ。バンバン人気あってやばいっす。
ああ、ゲプカエルンね。いつも週末に新作が出るんでしょ。
ゲロカエルんだって言ってんじゃんマジ。っていうか新作とかそういう言い方マジやめてよ。新ガエルだから。金土日と超並んでバンバン売れるんでマジやばいっすよ。マジでバンバン売れるっすから。
Okay.
バンバンっすよマジで。
Yua suddenly narrowed her eyes. Something in the way he was saying bang so many times felt strange. Yeah, that's exactly my thoughts. I'm like, this guy is just talking weird. Why did he keep emphasizing it? It probably wasn't deliberate, but it felt like he was using it as an excuse to say Bond's name over and over again. And in a really rude way, too.
これ、メイドインチャイナってラベルに書いてあるだけなんだけど、メーカーとかわかる？
は？メーカー？
By the way, I guess the election year here in the United States officially kicked off today. Let's see, I think they've only assigned 28 of the 40 delegates that are supposed to be designated. from Iowa. Uh.
つうかゲロガエルにブランドとかねえし、ゲロガエルンはゲロガエルンじゃね？それで完結してね？おっさん待ち受けんだけど。教えとくと、ゲロガエルンって作ってんじゃねえから。マジバンバン生まれてっから。
Yeah, it's the primaries right now, which determines who the representative of each party is. Okay, this is really weird. I don't. This thing. Who's currently leading? So Trump won the most delegates in the Iowa caucus. I don't know if they've counted any of the Democrat votes yet. I don't know, they might not even bother covering the Democrat because they figured Biden's just gonna like automatically get it, I guess, but anyway. Bond felt like he was about to bang his fist into the clerk's face if the conversation continued any longer. He paid and left the store. Hold on, I'm gonna be right back. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. Is Trump winning is bad? Yeah, of course it's bad, but, I mean, we're just talking about one state's results here. It's not that big of a portion of the overall delegates today, so... So, I mean, with the way the polls look right now, it's good that the all the primary elections are not taking place right now, that we have to wait, you know, 2-3 months before we get like big results, but anyway. What are they teaching their employees? Suddenly, Yua stopped. She grabbed onto Bond's jacket to bring him to a halt as well.
見てください、バンさん。
どうした?
Yua pointed towards a parked truck. Several cardboard boxes were being unloaded from it at that very moment. They were being carried into the back of the Garo Froggy shop.
明日発売になるゲジカエルンの新作か。
ゲロカエルンです。
ゆあちゃん、よく見つけたな。偉いぞ。
いえ、そんな。
Normally the truck would have had a company name on it, but it was completely painted white. The boxes, however, had a picture of Garo Froggy and the name of a company on them.
NewGen 会社新興。聞いたことあるかい？
Wait, so you're telling me he had to go to this store just to figure out what company makes them? Like, couldn't he just look that shit up on the internet? Why do you have to, like, go to the store for that?
ありません。
となれば困った時のももちゃん頼みだな。
Okay. Alright, well, let's go ahead and switch to some VTuber clips. I guess we'll save it here. Probably doesn't know how to work a computer. Yeah, maybe. Alright. So, let's see. Go here. Close this. Okay. Doo-dee-doo-doo. Hachima is currently streaming, and she is doing a bug review with Amelia Watson. Damn. I should be watching that shit. Oh well, maybe I'll watch it later. Those are like two of my favorite like VTubers in one stream. All right. So, all right. So our first clip for tonight is 5 minutes 56 seconds of Shiori proving she's a perfectly well-adjusted individual.
You lemonade. you lemonade. That's it. Or just because it's her last name. I think it's her last name actually.
Okay.
Okay, that's good enough. Let's see. Do I like this there? Maybe I should do like a black there. Yeah, or a white. No, let's do black. Doom. What about this?
What's she doing?
White?
Like here,
No,
like a new
black.
background
No.
for her stream or
You
something?
suck. I know. Let me drink some water. Alright, plenty lubricated. Blow on this. That's right. You dirty wind sucker. Your daddy doesn't love you. I'll never talk like this to the girls though. Don't worry. Oh, maybe. Alright, guess it's just you and me. My little novelites. As I scan for monsters. How do I know when a monster shows up? Do they go like, ooh, raw XD or something? I cannot watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit. First off, Roger Rabbit does not deserve that girl, okay? That big titty girl should be mine. What's your face? Hold on, don't Jessica Rabbit? Fuck that. They should divorce. Get out of here, Roger Rabbit. You pissed me off. That girl, it's mine now. You're furry. Fuck, get out of here. No offense to any furries. You're fine. It's just that I want Jessica. Why the fuck would you want this dude? He's so cringe. Jessica's loyal? Bro, what does the rabbit do? What does he do? He just fucks a lot? Should have been me, for real.
Bro.
He's a goofy little guy. I'm goofier though. I'm more hilarious. I'm cute, aren't I? And I don't look like a furry fuck. I make you guys laugh. Jessica, where are you? She just didn't meet me, you know? The moment she meets me, it's over for you, Roger. Get out of here. Get out of here with your little Roger Dodgers. I also research cannibalism too.
I'm happy to hear that.
Oh god, I hear something.
What?
It's Attack on Titan! It's Attack on Titan! Ah!
Oh yeah, dude. Speaking of Attack on Titan, I just watched the final episode of Attack on Titan today. Bro. I don't know, man. that anime just invokes a lot of different feelings. Man.
It's fine.
That's all I can say right now.
Right?
Without going into like a really long spiel.
The walls, Risa! You guys are gonna make fun of me for this. I don't really mind though. So in my
Disappointed? No, not really disappointed. Just like, I don't know. Like, it's just, I mean, it's still, I mean, I think it's possibly the best fucking anime series ever. But just the way it ended, like, the, like I said, it's just, it's complicated. It's because it's like, I don't know. What Aaron did was just fucked up. Let's just put it that way. And then the fact that like everybody is like kind of cool with what Aaron did after it happens. Just yeah, I don't know, man.
youth, I had a toaster. It was a toaster that served my family for generations. Little Shiori, let's just call her Little Shiori so you do not judge me hard. Naturally.
What did Aaron do? Are you cool with spoilers? I guess you are. You wouldn't be asking if you weren't cool with spoilers. Okay, Aaron, yeah, Aaron's a he. So Aaron's the main character. Basically, he wiped out 80% of humanity. So he committed genocide. I mean, essentially, he did it so that the world wouldn't have to deal with Titans anymore. And so that, like, the people that used to be, like, confined to this place called Paradis could be freer. But still, he wiped out fucking 80% of people. So, yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Actually, a toaster toast, right? So you put bread in there. Little Shiori wanted her potato bread, and instead of using, for example, an oven toaster, she shoved them into the toaster. She started smelling a burning smell coming out of it, and she thought, is it toasting right? Should I try to kind of wiggle it a little so it doesn't burn? So this version of Shiori,
Is he right in the head? Probably not.
she took a knife or a fork. Either way, it doesn't matter. It was metal. And she reached inside to stab the bread to kind of wiggle it around, and then there was a spark that happened, which she did not seem to care. She was not hurt. However, the little toaster that could, it no longer could. And she thought, oh dear, How will I explain this to my parental units? And then the next day, after eating some darn good freaking potato bread that was nicely toasted with a slight bit of burning, her parents came up to her and I asked, "You know, this toaster has been around for quite a long time now. I guess it was only a matter of time for it to not toast anymore." And Shiori smiled and she looked at them with a straight face. She said, "Yeah, that makes sense. It's been here for like years. So, yeah, I guess I destroyed my toaster before."
I don't know how to feel about that whole segment that Shiori just went through. Shiori does this weird thing where she like Shiori does this thing where she like makes everything, she like turns everything into a human. It's weird. Like she'll talk about like inanimate objects like like they're alive. And it's just weird. It's just weird. Like I don't know if she's just, I can't figure out if she's just being childish or if she's actually just fucking mental. You know what I mean? Like bro. Oh shit.
Look at you, leading the way.
I'm not scared of no thing. I'm terrified.
Hey, we're like crapping at sync. Or forgive one character at the hub. I'm actually— Fuck me!
Why did she do that, bro?
Oh my god! Oh god! Oh god! Please! Oh, the wow 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 wow. These nuts, oh I'm climbing this train now. But you refuse to grab on my...
What was she singing just now? Also, I didn't know she ever played Only Up. I like totally missed those streams. Absolutely mental.
Bye bye everyone. Shooting.
I don't know, dude. I am like I am really conflicted with Shiori. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I don't I can't tell how much of her personality is her just like like wanting to be entertaining and trying to play a role for the people that watch her, and how much of it is actually like her actually truly being fucking crazy in real life. Like I don't know if I've I've ever thought that way about a VTuber before. Like I actually don't know what the fuck the deal is with Shiori. Like I legitimately think there is an actual chance that she she is actually crazy, like in real life. I don't know, dude. How much of this is like her just playing a role, playing a character, and how much of it is like she's actually just fucking crazy in real life? Like I honestly don't know. I just don't know, dude. I don't know. Anyway, moving on.
Best no Wi-Fi games for long car rides, part
okay,
3. Okay,
skip
the game
this.
I want to tell you about is...
Skip. Okay. All right. Our next clip is Narissa experiences what a Kiara fan could only dream of.
Bathroom though is amazing.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. It's outdoor.
Yeah.
And that's fucking crazy.
Bathtub and shower outdoor. Mm-hmm. Yo.
We took a shower together with our swimsuits on, of course, like normal people. And like, it was so crazy. I was like, I'm outside right now with my Oshi, taking a shower.
Oh, it's funny because I said as a joke, let's shower together to save water. And then it actually happened today.
Yeah, no, oh my god. She said that to me and I was like, what
Bro.
did you say?
It was obviously a joke in the moment.
I know, but like, oh my god. You're just like, I have to be honest. Can I drag you?
Yeah.
She is so cute. And
Shut up!
I can't help. Every time I look at her, I just have the uncontrollable urge to tell her how cute she is. To the point where she has said, please stop calling me cute.
Yeah, because first of all, it will not be special anymore. She will call me like cute so many times a day.
You're just so cute.
And
I can't help it.
especially in moments where I'm not cute, like all moments, but like when I'm not wearing makeup and like messy hair.
Why do you have to have makeup to be cute? You don't.
That it's just a fact. Like what
It's
the hell?
not. Excuse me.
And it's so random. It's like out of nowhere always.
I just look. It's like you know that anime meme where you're like watching the sunset and like the girl's looking. She's like, wow, it's beautiful. And then the guy's looking. He's like at the girl and he's like, yeah, that's me with you. Except I say it to your face instead of like waiting for a weird moment.
Bruh.
I heard you get back.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I forgot I had saved this clip here. Wait, I think I might have already watched. Did I already watch this clip? I might have already watched this, but anyway, I got banned on Twitch from Nene Amano on here, so.
Ban on Twitch if you type I am 12 in chat. Let me try.
Oh, hell no.
Wait, my channel got suspended on Twitch. Wait, what?
Yeah. I have already watched this one.
It says this channel does not exist or has been suspended.
Like what?
They said I was 12. Your account is currently suspended.
Dude.
Indefinite suspension.
What the fuck is Nene even doing? Like they literally told her she would get banned if she said she was 12 in chat, and she fucking did it anyway. Like,
in the chat,
you dumbass.
says that I am 12 years old. But
Although honestly, that is a absolutely dumbass reason to get to ban someone because they say they're 12. Like, what the fuck?
I am confident that we're gonna get it back. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way they can ban us. Right, guys? Right, guys? Twitch diss track? Twitch, you are a very mini Gosling. You really suck. My
Bro, what is
subscribers
with
who
the
were excited
recorder?
about me being on Twitch. Now I'm unexcited about me being on Twitch. Because then I realized
She's
that
blowing on. So she's actually blowing on a recorder in real life. Bro.
longevity. I did nothing wrong.
I believe that until proven guilty, every man, woman, and child in this country is innocent. And that's why I fight for you, Albuquerque. Better call Saul.
I got banned. Probably is my fault.
Nene did nothing wrong.
Hi, I am Yoroshi. I got banned on Twitch by saying I am 12.
Many men wish death upon me. Blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be.
Wait, so that means she got unbanned, right? So she's back on Twitch, right? She's not still banned, is she? Anyway.
For Shreks?
There are.
Okay, I think this is the last clip that I have here. Let me double check. Yes, this is the last clip. Okay, so this is Callie suddenly feels old when Shiori noticed this. So, sorry, we got another Shiori, although this one's, I guess, half Shiori because it's Mori as well, so.
I think there's gonna be a fifth.
What? I'm surprised. I don't even remember what happens to 4.
Okay, hold on. Too quiet. Turn it up.
Like, first one's about beauty and short people. Second one, I guess
Family,
what happened. Yeah. Third one, potentially family again. Fourth one, I don't remember.
Fourth one is when the kids started being a big part of it, and I just checked out after that. Once the children got in there, it became a freak show like Minions.
Minions.
I feel like
haha, toilet humor.
I feel like it's because it tried to age with the people who might have tried to see it at the time. Because like he goes from bachelor to like I guess preparing to have a baby, and then they're still trying to age him up. So maybe the people who watch it had families by this time.
Ah, that's a really good
That
point.
makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like Pokemon, I guess.
Yeah.
Except they didn't age with you.
Not with you, they aged for your children.
Yeah.
Wait, does that mean Mori should have kids by now?
Uh-oh.
Whatever.
Dun, 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 dun.
Stop! No, it's fine. I'm not old. I'm not old and alone. No, I have my deadbeats.
Are you
I'm
also
happy.
the last one standing, actually?
I might be. All of my friends have already
Hey,
gotten
let's
married.
go!
Yeah, let's go! All my friends have gotten married and are having kids.
Oh,
Woo.
not for me. My relatives are.
Oh.
But to be fair, they Willy Wonka like pretty early.
Ah, Willy Wonka.
Yeah, they had the factory a little bit too early.
What? Wait, they had the Huh?
Bro. What the hell? All right, I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, sorry, wrong thingy majiggy. Okay. Um, let me try. There might actually be a couple things we can watch in my that came up in my notifications. So let me check here. Well, maybe not. I guess I. Oh, was this? Wait, was this one? Hold on. Let me look at what this is real quick.
Just take all the water.
Okay. We can do this one. This one's not real long. Okay, so kind of I guess in a similar theme to the clip we just watched. This is Callie feels old after realizing how young Bijou is.
Water and put it somewhere else, Patrick.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done.
That's also something I missed in my childhood. I didn't get to watch SpongeBob, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry you missed out. It's pretty funny.
I feel like I've missed out on so much, so many memes.
Yeah. Well, it's a big part of meme culture for people that are maybe like me, no years old. It was definitely something very special, a product of its time. Did you ever watch any other like Nickelodeon cartoons? Did you not watch cartoons as a kid?
No, because I didn't have the channels. I watched PBS.
Oh yeah, Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, PBS.
Right there.
Yeah, they got some kids stuff on there.
Didn't have it, but like once we got cable pretty late, so once I did get cable, I watched a lot of Cartoon Network. So like Adventure Time, Gumball.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Around
all
the
that
time of
stuff.
those
I
things.
love that.
Nice, nice. I see. Around those times. Cool. That's not too far off. I feel like I'm getting so old these days. Yamero. I don't want to get old. I don't want to be old, deadbeats.
You're not old. It's about the youth in your heart.
That's a good way to look at it. Nice and positive. I'll try to remember that.
Let's be real.
Shit, when I was a kid, I watched like Animaniacs, Pinky the Brain, Pinky and the Brain. Good lord. Yeah. I don't know let's see, what other cartoons did I watch? I used to watch Underdog like when I was like real young. Yeah. Let me see if what's his name? Kanaru has anything. I think he's been kind of quiet lately. I don't think he's really put out that much stuff. Okay, there's three videos here, but they're all pretty short. So, Underdog, yeah, dude, that's an old one. Underdog's from like the 50s, I think. Yeah. Here, I'll show you here in a. Oh, after this, I guess. Okay, so this is Amelia's Detective Bureau. Okay, this is loud. Holochrome? I don't know what that is. Oh, dude. Also, I also saw today they announced, or maybe it was yesterday, but I saw today that they had announced a Love Live Nijigasaki visual novel. They don't have a release date for it yet, but apparently they're gonna make one on for the Nintendo Switch apparently. Oh, sorry. I don't know why I've got this up here. um So I was gonna ask, would you be at all interested in if I were to stream? Of course, we got to see if it's even localized first. I mean, it might just be a Japan only thing for all we know, but if there is a localization of it, would you be at all interested in streaming that? Because I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about it, honestly. I'm kind of like, well, I liked season 1, but I didn't really care that much for season 2, so I'm kind of like, I don't know. But if you really want to see it, the only problem is I would have to get a capture card because I can't stream Switch currently. Hopefully they'll like announce it for PC or something later, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to keep our eye on it. Anyway. Okay, so next thing we got here is this is Mokoko Guard Dog. Guard Dog of Hollow X. Oh wow. Okay. Okay, and he literally just posted this one like an hour ago. So this is Iris One Step at a Time. Nice. All right. Anything else? You got any clip suggestions, Zane? Holochrome. Oh, you mean you're talking about Holochrome. Okay, yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Holochrome, yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna look up here, I'll show you what Underdog is. Here, let me see. Here you go. This is Underdog. Literally a dog in a superhero costume. Yeah. So this, let's see. Says it ran from okay, I'm sorry, I said the 50s. It's actually the 60s, apparently. So I was thinking too far back, but it ran from 1964 to 1967. Okay. Till 19, okay. Yeah, and then it continued in syndication until 1973. So obviously this is like way before I was even born. So I was watching reruns, of course, but yeah, I mean they kept showing reruns of this for like a long time after. Super Ted? Super Ted. Looks, hold on. Super Ted. Is he like a bear? Oh, it's Welsh. Okay, that's why I've never fucking heard of it. um. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I'll be just right back here in a sec. Okay. Um. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. So I did not know Super Ted was Welsh. Oh well, apparently it is. That's what it says here. A Welsh animated television series. Yeah, it's a bear. Um. So I think okay. So tomorrow I will stream God of War, and I don't know. I'll try and start the stream maybe a little earlier, like a little before 10 o'clock, so like before 4 o'clock your time. I don't know, that still might be too late. I'm not sure, but um anyway, yeah. If I don't see you tomorrow, then I guess maybe Wednesday I'll stream Chaos Head again. Should be earlier. Um so yeah. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by tonight. And yeah, I'll see you hopefully in the next couple days. Have a good night.